Okay, so Luffy's the main character of our stories, so it's only natural that people have their own expectations and hopes for the future of this character. Recently, Dustan made a video about what he personally expects from Luffy after the time skip, and overall it seems like Dustan's argument was that he wants to start seeing Luffy backing up his wild statements. Like, if he calls out a Yonko, he wants to see him make good of those promises. Like, we just had a time skip and he wants to see Luffy use what he's learned to start making big movements in the world. But I kind of feel like he's looking at this in the wrong way. Like, I kind of want to bring our minds back to why this time skip happened in the first place. Luffy got decimated by Kuma at Sabaody, all because he was reckless. And although I 100% agree the Celestial Dragon deserved everything that he got, it doesn't change the fact that Luffy not only put himself in a bad situation, but he also put his friends in that same dire situation with him, all because he lost his temper. Then not long after that, he lost his brother Ace, because Ace took Alkainu's bait and decided to fight in a situation where he really shouldn't have been fighting. This not only got Ace killed in front of Luffy, but it almost got Luffy killed in the process as well. And then that's how the whole time skip came about. Rayleigh noticed that Luffy was barely keeping his head above water as he was getting closer and closer to the new world, so he told him to train and get stronger so that this doesn't end up leading him and his friends into an early grave. So then after the time skip, the type of development I personally expected to see from Luffy was more of a mature and responsible captain. And I'm really hesitant when I use the word mature because we all know that Luffy's gonna act childish and crazy and get all excited by seeing cool weapons and islands, like that's just gonna happen, and I don't ever want that to change because that is what Luffy is. That is Luffy's character. He's just a fun, loving, carefree kind of guy. But when things get serious, I want to see Luffy get serious too. I want to see Luffy be the kind of captain that can acknowledge when a situation is too dangerous and act accordingly, instead of putting all of his friends in danger exactly like he did before the time skip. For example, in chapter 845, when Big Mom sent the enraged army after Luffy, Nami pleaded and pleaded that he run because there's no way that he'd be able to fight them off. Not only had he just finished fighting Cracker, but he'd also just been beaten up by Sanji. He couldn't even talk properly after that situation, yet he insisted on staying in that exact spot just to prove a point. On a Yonko's territory, he was so stubborn that he put not only his life, but Nami's life on the line as well, just because he wanted to be quote unquote true to his word and stay standing in that exact spot. And this is the kind of thing I expected Luffy to have learnt not to do after his past experiences that caused the time skip to happen in the first place. After seeing his crew get washed away before his eyes by Kuma, after seeing how much that hurt him, and after realizing that his crew is all that he had left. It really disappointed me to see him then putting Nami's life on the line for something so petty. Not to mention the fact that not long before he had only just escaped a life-threatening situation where yet again, Nami had pleaded for him to run away and he refused. And another example is more recently in chapter 871, Luffy and the crew were in the middle of their escape plan. They were making a break for it after the Germa and Caesar put their lives on the line for us to escape. Big Mom began to taunt Luffy. Luffy took the bait and proceeded to charge at her just so that he could satisfy his need to prove Big Mom wrong and get one final hit off. Now, let me ask you this. Isn't that the exact type of irrational thinking that got Ace killed right before Luffy's eyes, yet he still didn't learn from it? Basically what I'm trying to say is that I expect to see Luffy grow as a character and realize that he can't be doing stupid things like that and putting himself and the rest of his crew at risk anymore, especially after witnessing how severely outmatched he is in this arc. I want to see a more responsible Luffy from here on out. Like, of course he's still going to be in dangerous situations to protect his friends, and I want to see that also, but there's a difference between reading about the honorable Luffy who's willing to go to war with the world government or go toe to toe with a Yonko for the good of his people and for the sake of protecting his friends and helping someone like Momonosuke. That's completely different from reading about a Luffy who is unnecessarily putting himself and his crew in danger just to prove a petty little point. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the situation and what I expect to see from Luffy moving forward, and how I want him to basically learn from his past experiences instead of reenacting the very things that got him into trouble in the first place. A link to Dustan's video will be in the description below if you want to go check out his side of the argument for yourself. Let me know what you think about the topic in the comment section down below. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already for more of that One Piece content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
1.